In this video, we are going to study about the measurement of the frequency. That measurement of the frequency can be done in two ways. One is the slotted line technique. Slotted line technique, where the test bench is there. Over the test benches, slotted line carries is there. Slotted line carries return is there, and that over that we can have that by sliding the crystal detector probe to its load side, and then making it prepared that when we are supplying, when we are switching it on, that Keystone is switched on and the kit is ready. That time we can measure the distance between the maxima and minima. So how do we take it? That onto the slotted line carriage, the probe is moved from the load side to the source side, and we observe one minima and we observe one maxima. The distance between the maxima and minima, that will be lambda g by 2. So this formula we will calculate. Here we can measure the distance between the maxima and minima on the vernier scale and the main scale. So with the help of main scale and vernier scale, we can calculate that how much distance is there for maximum reading and for minimum reading. So the distance, when we are calculating and we are placing it at 2, d minimum is equal to, or d is equal to lambda g by 2. So lambda g we can calculate it from here. So in terms of distance, so here we have that formula, lambda g by 2 is equal to d minimum, which we have taken for between minimum to maximum point and maximum to minimum point. The distance we can calculate, and this formula we are having, lambda g is equal to lambda naught divided by square root 1 minus lambda naught by lambda c whole square, and here lambda naught is the operating wavelength corresponding to the operating frequency which we have to measure. So lambda g can be calculated with the help of d minimum as it is given, so we can place it here. Lambda c we can calculate by the dimension of the waveguide which we are using by measuring with the help of scale. That dimension we can have, and the TE10 mode we can apply there, and for the dominant mode we can have that lambda c is equal to 2a, where a is the width of the waveguide we can use. And when we are using this, when we are we have the form, we have the value of lambda c, we have the value of lambda g. Now we can calculate easily lambda naught. So when we are calculating the lambda naught, that time after calculation of the lambda naught, we can apply this formula, that is F is equal to c by lambda naught, where c is the light velocity, that is velocity of the light, 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, and lambda naught we have calculated here. So we can calculate the operating frequency of the reflex klystron, or of the mode through which it is moving. So likewise we can calculate the frequency with the help of slotted line technique. And another technique is there by using the wave meter, as we are having in the microwave test bench, that one microwave source is there, isolator is connected, after that frequency meter is connected. That frequency meter is nothing but the wave meter, and then after that wave meter, one attenuator is there, and then we have connected the slotted line carriage return, and then we have the VSWR meter we can connect, or that slotted line carriage is terminated to its load, so we can have the meter for reading purpose. And here we have to see a dip in the meter, so we can connect a VSWR meter onto the load side, and here the case is to be taken that variable attenuator is to be set for maximum opening, means it should provide maximum wave, and that slotted line carries the crystal detector position also must be set onto a position where it can detect maximum signal, and then we have to adjust that wave meter or that frequency meter. So when we are here, you can see that wave meter internal diagram is there. In wave meter we are having one calibrated plunger, we have that resonant cavity. Here we are having a arrays, and we have that waveguide connected to it. So what is happening, this as a whole wave meter, as you have seen in the lab, that full wave meter has been calibrated into scales from 1 gigahertz to 12 gigahertz frequency range. Now what you have to do, that it can be set in any of the frequency range, or in any of the at any frequency. So how we have to adjust it, we have to rotate it, and we have to see that when the scale is reading, when the scale is when the pointer on the scale is going down and down, and it is reaching, and then again it is increasing. So there is a position by adjusting it, and we have to see, we have to keep continuously watch over the wave meter, that where we are having a deflection from maximum to minimum. So maximum to minimum, when it comes, when it is the pointer is going on right side, or we can say when it is going on left side, and a sudden point is coming while tuning it, that a point is coming where the power gets reduced, and we have to observe that point where the power gets reduced. So we have to stop our tuning on to that point, and that point is to be measured, and that time the scale is to be seen over the calibrated over the wave meter where it is coming, and that point will give you that frequency of operation, or we can say resonant frequency of the cavity. So that frequency where that wave is to be propagated. So that frequency we can measure with this help, with this wave meter. So here we have shown you the setup. Microwave frequency source is there, attenuator is there, wave meter is there, slotted line is there, detector is there, and frequency meter is there. Here we have connected the frequency meter, though we can have here that is power meter, or we can have VSWR meter. So here we should show power meter or the VSWR meter to see that where the deflection is coming. Either we can see directly by putting it onto the frequency meter, so that but the frequency range must be calibrated between that 1 to 12 gigahertz that source is producing the frequencies, that according to that frequencies of the source, the frequency meter must be applied here. Then only the frequency meter can read that value of the signal frequency, otherwise it will not be reading. So the best way is to watch a dip over the power meter or over the VSWR meter, and then we can have a reading from the wave meter calibrated scale. So likewise we can calculate the frequency of the source, that what source is what source frequency is tuned to this resonant frequency of the wave meter. So likewise we can have this measurement, and thank you very much.